Hello, this is Matt with eLearning Services. I'm going to take you through the process of creating and setting up a course within Wyotraining. All right, so when you first get into Wyotraining, let's go back to the front page. As a Wyoming employee and a course creator, you'll have to log into the site once with your Wyoming state email, and then we can elevate you to a course creator. And once you are a course creator, you can do this. Okay, so you can go into, first of all, we're going to go into browse courses, and then if you have a category set up for you, which we can do, you can go into that category. For this demonstration, I'm just going to go into state parks. And then within that, you'll see a button that simply says add a new course. Okay, and there's all these settings that we're going to need to go through. I'm going to go ahead and click this, expand all right here, and that'll expand all these different areas. Okay, let's start at the top. First of all, you give it a course, you give it a full name. And then a short name. Now it put me in, because I was in that category, it put me in there. You could have clicked on the create course in the category area and then selected your category here. Either way works. Right now the course is not visible. It's hidden because we don't want it visible until we're done creating it. This usually puts the date that you're doing it. Actually, it looks like it puts it 1 day forward. But don't worry about that because that'll stay that way, and once your course is actually created, it will be passed. You can give it an ID number if you want to. That's just for in-house purposes for you as the course creator. All right, and you can put a summary. And that'll show up to the right of the course name when you go into your category. So it's good to have a description in there, a summary. All right, so then you get down to the course format. This is where you choose how your course is formatted, and it's an important part. Okay, there's several choices. One is just a single activity. So let's say you create a course with some software such as Articulate Storyline. You can, and it's just going to be that, you can do a single activity. A social format creates a forum. So if it's just going to be a spot where people go to chat back and forth in a forum or ask each other questions, you choose that. Topics, you can have as many topics as you want, divide your course up into several topics. And then a weekly format is for a course where each week is a different subject or testing period. Okay, typically topics for folks that have been using this is the best way to go because you can break up a course into topics. Okay, so I'm not sure why it goes back to the top, but you can see right now I've chosen topics format, and then it asks how many topics. So let's just do, say, 4 for now. Hidden sections refers to the concept of only allowing the next section to show up once you're done with the first section. Okay, so don't worry about that right now. And then course layout. Typically we've been doing show all sections on one page, only because it's a little less confusing. If you do show one section per page, it'll have navigation left and right. So once you're done with your one section, your topic, you'll click an arrow and it'll go to the next topic, which may work for certain things. All right, so you're going to want English. News items, don't worry about this setting. We'll show you what that means later. Show grade book to students, sure, why not? Show activity reports, yes. You want to be able to access your activity reports. Okay, and so this is defaulting to the correct one now. So 4 gigabytes is the maximum, and that's plenty. You want to enable completion tracking if you want to know if people have completed the course. Guest access, no, because you're going to want to track the folks. So we're going to have to put them in the system. Okay, either they're going to have to log in as a Wyoming state employee, or we're going to have to add them to Wyotraining. Don't worry about a password right here. Don't worry about groups at this point. Okay, and then you can rename these roles if you'd like to. Say if you wanted student to be trainee, or something that describes them, you can go ahead and put that in there. All right, so that's the initial course settings. And then you go ahead and click on Save Changes. So after you create your course, I'm not sure that you would actually come to this page. I may be coming to this page because I'm an admin. But in any case, you're going to want to go to your course, and you can do it right there in the breadcrumbs. It's crossed out because the course is not live right now. Okay, so these are the breadcrumbs, and you can always navigate around in them. You can see that it's in the State Parks and Cultural Resources category, and then this is the course. All right, so I came back to it. Now you can see all the topics. We chose 4 topics. It always puts a forum at the top. I'll show you how to remove that if you don't want it. All right. So first of all, what you want to do is turn editing on right here. Okay, now you can see each of the topics, and you can see all the editing capabilities of it. So in order to get rid of this forum, all you have to do is go to Edit and Delete. Say yes. Okay, so now the forum's gone. All right, so you can add to the top of your course, to the header basically, by clicking on that gear. All right, so this is the summary section name. Summary, you can also throw a photo in there by clicking on this image button and adding it. It's basically a text editor, okay? So you can create headings, just do paragraph, bold, all that jazz from in here. Oh, I forgot. This is an interesting little feature. It throws the news forum back in unless you delete it from over here. So what I'm first going to do, that was nice so it could show you that, is click on the gear here in latest news, because that's what it is. And then I'm going to delete that block. Yes, I want to delete that block. Then delete the news forum. I'm not sure why, but you have to do that or it'll keep popping back up. The default name is topic 1, okay? But if you go in there, so if you want each section to be topic 1 and then have text beneath it, like topic 1 is the basics, okay? Let's say heading 2, all right? And then let's save changes. Then you'll see what it looks like. So topic 1 is now the basics, all right? So let's work within topic 1. So that you can do whatever you'd like to, and you can actually add activities and such, but these are the topics you've set up. So let's add an activity. This is where you see all the choices that are in Wyotraining or Moodle, okay? I have not actually used them all, but you can do an assignment. This is a certificate that we add at the end of each of our courses. You can set up a chat. You can do all of these things. The most common are down here. You can create a page where you can add any sort of stuff into that page. You can add the URL, which is basically a web page, and you can have it open up within Wyotraining or in a new URL or a new web page. Label is very handy in that you can put anything in it and it shows up on the page. I'll do some examples for you. SCORM package is what you create when you use software such as Articulate Storyline or Adobe Captivate. You export it as a SCORM package and then you put it in here. Lots of people have taken a course that is created like that. It's a self-contained course where you click through it. Sometimes you select things. That's what that is. You can also create quizzes. So let's go ahead and I was going to say one more thing. The file is another one that's used heavily. So if you have a PDF you want them to read through, you drop in a file and then you can add the PDF. So let's go ahead and let's do that one for now. So you select it, either double click it or click add. And now it's going to take you into that activity so you can edit the activity. The red stars are required. Okay, so we need a name. This is going to be activity 1.1. And it's a PDF of rules. Okay, so then you come down to the content, and all you have to do is drag that PDF in. Okay, here's a PDF. I'm going to drag it in there. Okay, it uploads it. And then you can click down here into Appearance. And this is what I was talking about. It will show up within the course or not. So if you have it embedded, it'll show up in the course. If you have it in a pop-up, it'll pop up a new window. And this one will force them to download it right away. So you can play with those. I actually haven't used open or automatic, so I'm not exactly sure what they do. Okay, and you can choose these settings. All right, and then down here you're getting into the settings that are the same in all activities. So you want it visible? Yes. Restrict access? Maybe. If you had a activity before this that you wanted them to have to finish before this one, then you would add a restriction. That's kind of advanced. We can get into that later. And then activity completion. This is for completion tracking. So what you typically want to have here is show activity as complete when conditions are met. Okay, so if you don't care if they view that part or if it's not required, you would say do not indicate activity completion. If you just want them to be able to manually mark it so they know that they've completed it, you select that one. If you want it to automatically check when they complete it, select this one. Okay, and they must view the activity to complete it. Okay, so then you save and return to course. Now you have under topic 1, under the basics, you have activity 1.1. And now you can always go back into an activity and edit it by going here. Okay, you can also indent it if you want to. Let's move it right. Heck, let's move it right again. All right, so it's indented. Okay, so now you can check that activity. You can go ahead and click on it. It'll take you in there and it'll show you the PDF. Okay. It's a little bit, the window's a little bit squished and we're working on fixing that, but right now they got to scroll when they're looking at these. Okay. But there it is. Now, as far as navigating, go ahead and go back to the course by clicking in the breadcrumbs up here, or the back arrow in the browser works just fine as well. So go back arrow. You're back in your course. Okay. So let's add another activity. Let's add a label. And you can always read what the activities do right here every time you select one. Okay, so we do a URL. You're able to provide a link as a resource, a quiz, glossary. Okay, so you can always read about what they do. Let's do a label. Labels show up within the course. So if let me get some text, paste it in here. Okay. And these are the same settings that every activity has, and I showed you those. Okay, so if the label's just something telling them or some instructions, you don't need to do any activity completion. In fact, you still want to go in there and not have a box next to it. So you go, do not indicate activity completion. anytime you have this or the other one that we chose in the last activity, there'll be a box to the right of the activity. But if you select this, there will not be. So let's save and return and look at this. All right, so now you can see that this label allowed us to just put some instructions in there. Now you can always move things around very easily within Moodle. These little arrows, I'm going to go ahead and put it above that activity. Okay, so now the instructions are above the activity, and you got topic 1, sorted out at this point. There's several ways to add a video. If you want to add a video, there's no video activity, but you can either, first of all, you could do a label and put it so it shows up on the front page of your course, or you can do a page, which means that they would click on the page to go into the video. Okay, so let's just get let's say page. Okay, let's do a page. I'm going to grab, so what you do when you're grabbing a YouTube video, first of all, you're going to want to embed it. So you want to get the embed code from YouTube. You go to share, you go to embed, and you grab this code right here, copy it, go back to your course. Here's a little tricky thing. You have to go into the code, but it's not too bad. So first of all, you got to click here to open up more stuff. Here's more formatting things. This is the HTML code. All right, so now I'm going to paste it right here. Better give it a name. Video. All right, now if I go back out of that, you'll see the video there. Okay, so, oh, I just put it in the description. Great. So that's not where you want to put that. Let's go ahead and go back into there and let's take it out. Let's give it a short description. Sorry, I'm kind of doing this training on the fly. I hope that's okay. Now the page content, let's do the same thing. You go to this to open up more settings, go to HTML and paste that in there. Okay, now same things down here. The appearance on this one, not a big deal. You can decide what you want to show there. And then these are the same things as before. Let's go to activity completion. Let's make it required. Student must view it. Let's save and return to the course. All right, so like I said, here I'm going to indent this so it's the same spot as that other one. These are the two activities for topic 1. As I said, this one you have to click into to go see the video. Now, if I would have done a label, the video would be showing right there. You'd see it on the front page of the course. So I'm going to go into the video, take a look at it. Okay, and there it is. So they can click on it, play it. All right, and then they can go back, or they can go back to through the breadcrumbs. Now, all these things over here are called blocks, and you can decide what you want to show there, or if you don't want anything, you can delete them all. Every one of them is the same deal. You click here, you say delete. You're going to have to say yes. There's always a second page. Yes. And since we don't have any forums, of course I deleted that one. If there's no upcoming events, you delete that. If you delete them all, the course will spread out all the way over to the side. Okay, maybe look a little cleaner. All right, well, I think I'm getting a little too far perhaps, but I've given you a lot to work with. Feel free to contact me at matthew.nagy@wyo.gov if you need further help. You can call me at 307-760-1259, and I'll help you with any of the details that I left out of this video. Hopefully this wasn't too long. Thanks for sticking with me.